You're to the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Oh, he's gone. You know what? I am going to. This case is so stupid. I am out. Hello everyone, my name's Aussie Hornet. Welcome to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. We are finally going to finish off Recipe for Turnabout. It feels like a long case, but it really isn't. So anyways, let's get to it. So we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. Godo picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. You mean you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need. Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe. What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end. Hey, that's the pot calling the turtle black, little Miss Top Knot. It's not a top knot! Never mind about the hair, just calm down, alright? I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kinda get wound up. No kidding. Gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything. Well, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you've got an hour. The trial will have reconvened by then. But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour? You bet. In that case, would you mind taking a print on this for me? The ear medicine bottle?
Take that!
We're going back to the station anyway. Did you find out whose prints are on this? Oh hey, that's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solved the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too. Alright, there you go. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. Alright, here we go. It's pretty much a final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. Alright, time to take down this phony. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godo, did you find this Furio tiger? They even tamed him for you. It was a freak-up job, no problem. Is it tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tiger, but come on! He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. Very well, please show Mr. Tiger to the stand. Oh boy. Alright. Oh, aren't you happy to be here? Witness, please state your name and occupation for the... Oh, here we go. I'm not under the table, Maya. Unless there's room for me down there too. Would you mind what you say to me? Nothing. I didn't say nothing. Honest. I'm gonna guess that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in a judge. I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Okay, can you stop growling? Was it you, Spiky? No, of course not. It was... Really, Judge? Your Honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. We're on our visit. Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. Yeah, that's it. We're doomed. Maybe she didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. Damn. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Too cold. Don't let it get the better of you, Nick. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? That's it. I don't know nothing about no stinking incidents, masked boy. You didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird. Maggie who? I got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Phoenix Wright. Yes? You're the one who set this up, didn't you? You're gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? Maybe I should have brought it. Oh, God, Phoenix. Really? Yeah, grip, Nick. Alright. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. Just want to check my alibi? Just ask via letter. Oh, Judge, you're back. Oh, at last I found my pen. Very well done, Mr. Wright, for cross-examination. Can you not? What is it? Please, witness, if you can refrain from shouting out like that. Come on, Judge. I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid detail till he wins. Lowlife? Me? Listen up, smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000 and you're gonna borrow the cash from me. That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. And don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger. Oh, you're enjoying this, aren't you, Godo? I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute. That's really not... This witness is... How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side, and I'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours, too. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. You better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Oh, fuck. Not this again! Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick. Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? We're getting another murder clown situation here, so if I press him in the wrong statements, I get penalized for it. Oh boy. I started with business in December last year, spent all my time in my office. Hold it! Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. It seems like a rather, sketchy schedule. There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So, now what? We gotta go for it. Mr. Tiger. Which is what? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
Objection!
Oh boy. This is a dead end, Wright, and you know it. Remember the rules.
Objection!
No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before. I don't believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godo, if you could please. Mr. Tiger, the court asked to add that last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. You were in the office that day, you never saw that kid before. I beg to differ. The calendar said December 3rd.
Objection!
Mr. Tiger, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg, but it appears that Mr. Glenn Elg knew you. What? Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger, and the date? December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder. So, Mr. Tiger, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Elg. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Oh boy. Not bad. He's actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with you to see how good you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you were not bad. I think he was being sarcastic, Maya. That's one compliment I could do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. You're calling me a liar? Is that what she's doing? Whoa! So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth? I said I'm dead serious. You better believe that's the truth. Huh. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. Another cup of coffee. That is while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tiger. Oh, yes, would you mind indulging the court witness? Never actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. The way he sticks his tongue out. I ain't no lie, I never met Glenn Elg. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, 10 to lend up. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed. He ain't never been to that Tribulations joint, you see her? That's a lie. I see. It all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you, Wright. Ugh. I really hate this guy. So he said that, So he said he'd never been to Tribulations that day. But the matches that were found in his office came from Tribulations.
Objection!
Mr. Tiger, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What you talking about? We found them in your office at Tender Lender. They're from that restaurant. If you've really never been to Tribulations before, what was a book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? He's been snooping around in my stuff now too, wise guy? What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me. Order, order. Well, witness, I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? Sorry, I'm totally sorry, forgive me. Come on, Judge. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But okay, I was at the joint that day. Oh, really now? What? Well, listen good, alright. I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. Oh, well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glenn out that day, and he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. Alright. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop's sirens way out, and I went straight back to my office. Let's see, you didn't actually meet with him in the end, then. Mr. Wright, for cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Hold it! If I wait around here any longer, I ain't ever gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. Heh, no problem. Anytime Trent presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see you pay some penalty. Well, Mr. Godo, that's my job! Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it! Yes, sir! Special Express ain't cheap, Wright. Just so you know, since you paying. Oh man, doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? Not in the Ace Attorney universe, Phoenix. Not in the Ace Attorney universe.
Objection!
No, you couldn't. You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tiger? No one escapes the Tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. Uh-oh. Can you not look at me like that, please? And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Trite? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tiger. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this. Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head, except you wouldn't be able to see it. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition. What? That's true! Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. Oh, you're sweating now. So, from the entrance of Tribulations, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day, because you met with him.
Objection!
Wrong! Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table.
Objection!
But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glenn Elk, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. That will do. The trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? Well, that's kind of obvious. You say the killer murdered Glenn Oak and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo? In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court. Gladly.
Take that!
Obviously, the killer is Furious Tiger. No one else could have done it. What? What? Witness? Now that's cute. He's thinking he can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you just don't understand. The tiger is king of the jungle. So I dare you to say it again! Come on, you got the guts! You can't find me, Mr. Tiger! Here's to the defense! Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Oh, he's gone. You know what? I am going to. This case is so stupid. I am out. Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. He's got guts, I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Godo! Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't just see the victim. Oh, no. The serving girl brought him a Javakino, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there. Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains, he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee. Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee.
Objection!
Very impressive, Mr. Godo. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Heh. Found your pen at last, Trite. It was in my pocket. Anyways. Anyway. Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenn Elk, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright. I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenn Elk was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show. What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well? The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? It was Violetta.
Take that!
Who is this woman? Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tender Lender. You're making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You better be going home in an armored truck tonight if you know what I mean. Oh boy. Stop shaking, Nick. Where was I? Alright, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy. And she had a cackling laugh. Ooh. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when the eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice, once for real and once for show. And Mr. Fury Tiger, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you. What, you're not gonna say anything? You're not gonna roar? Witness, what have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? He's alright. I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get my meeting now, but I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? He's got it all wrapped up nice, huh, right? But he's missed out one real important thing. But that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him. He's here? What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tiger? Heh. What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Looks like we're gonna need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I'll give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Tribulations between yourself and the victim? Yeah, I loaned El Cash about $100,000. That day, we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won! $500,000! He got lucky, you know. Real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she'd done, everything would have been over. Now I see that the principal amount you loaned to Mr. Oak was $50,000. Yeah, well, he's got the VIG to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know. That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice as principal. The repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of incident in question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? If that waitress hadn't done what she had done, everything would have been over.
Hold it!
The waitress, you mean? The girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair. Who else could I mean? If she hadn't gotten in the way, things would have been bada bing bada boom, over and done with. Maybe I should push a little on this. What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Are you all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back, that's all. I'm a businessman. It was all come together before that waitress got in the way. As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tiger had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect what you just said. Tiger's motive, huh? I was after the $100,000. I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy.
Objection!
So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Elk owed you, correct? I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right. Unfortunately for Mr. Elk, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after.
Objection!
Oh boy. What are you getting at, Wright? What else would a moneylender be after other than the money? Oh, the moneylender was after the money, but money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch. What is that? A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber. A computer virus? What does one of those do? A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer. Judge, you cannot be this old. What does one of those do? I guess the beard isn't the only part of His Honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several billion dollars on the black market. For several $1 million? Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elk had no way to repay the money is crucial. What? Glenn Elk was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elk put up in order to borrow the money.
Objection!
You're trying to suggest the witness motive was to get hold of that program? Yep, exactly. The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot, Wright. A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder. Of course he could, provided that he had time. But what if he had needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear. Seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? Why did Mr. Tiger need money to the tune of $1 million? I believe it might be the medical papers.
Take that!
In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter, in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery. How much of this do you know? These medical papers documents the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And yet, when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full. For $1 million? A preposterous sum. Someone should sue these HMOs. No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of this, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tiger had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. Yep. Order. You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright? Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadavarini. Did you say Cadavarini? Bruno Cadavarini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadavarini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruno Cadavarini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn Elk's life to pay your debt. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tiger's sole intention was to get his hand on the CD. Glenn Elk had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tiger knew it. But then a miracle happened. Mr. Tiger would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, and neither can I. The lottery win? Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elk won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tiger with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. That's where the poison comes in. So he resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy! He murdered Glenn Elk and then made his next move, to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tiger posed as Glenn Elk. while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Cruder.
Objection!
Like I said, Wright, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it.
Objection!
Because he was in on it. But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godo? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tiger's plan. Oh boy. Order, order. Silence or I will cut it. He's put on a good show, Spiky. If you want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. So you're saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness, and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that! I agree. You do? Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. What? Another one, Mr. Wright? Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Trite? What was this trick you say Mr. Tiger performed to frame the accused?
Take that!
Could be the badge. What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tiger, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me. What? That's the truth. What? The witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Yeah, but apparently he tricked a lot of people into thinking it was me. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? Uh-oh. No doubt it was you standing in here in this very court a mere month ago. The Phoenix Rider put up the most disreputable shabby defense I'd ever seen! Oh boy. He's gonna kill everyone.
Objection!
Can you prove that, Grips? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify it was him? Hey. Forget about it, yeah? Uh-oh. I wouldn't do something like that, not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh?
Objection!
I'm not falling for this shit. Have you heard pride, sir?
Objection!
This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Troy, here in court, we deal with people's lives. Mr. Godo is right. Your Honor? Speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced the attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand on a verdict. The one in my position cannot be swayed by memory without evidence to support it. No! Oh boy. If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tiger are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. But we've come so far. You say he impersonated Glenn L. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee. Wait, where's Gumshoe? Sucks to be you, Wright. Don't mess with the Tiger, or you're gonna get mauled, you got that? All I managed to do here was chase him around a bit. I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. Looks like I won't be needing a refill. I just have one more piece of evidence. One more piece of evidence, and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. This witness cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tiger. Uh-oh. Your Honor, sir! He's to the rescue, yes! Wait! Detective! Detective Gumshoe! Sorry it took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this too. What is it, Detective? Is it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence. What? Let's go, Gumshoe. Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab. The results? I brought the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle. Oh, so you know who the prints belong to now? Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know. So, tell us. They're the tigers, right? I knew it. You bet. Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. The fewer tigers' paws prints, alright. That's great. We got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on the bottle now. Well, what? Why not? What we need to produce at this stage in a trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glen Elk's coffee. He already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now. Oh boy. Or not! Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. This was our last chance to help Maggie. And I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright, I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal. Detective Gumshoe? Maggie! You've been working on something for me. Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get you out of your hair now. Detective Gumshoe, wait! He's gone. Is there anything we can do now, Nick? I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. Alright, we're back in the court now. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I granted you a recess so you could prepare this decisive evidence you discovered. Yes. Don't keep us all in suspense, Wright. Show us. Naturally. We can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we? Pink Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. How much more of my time are you gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before. But you lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion. No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright. Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here. But maybe if he thinks he got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit. Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final decisive piece of evidence to the court.
Take that!
This is the defense's final piece of evidence. Isn't that the victims? Your Honor, naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tiger. What? What? Mr. Wright! What conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information? One man, one person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark. My prints are in that panty-looking bottle? Is that what you're saying? Well, what the hell's in it anyway? For any trial, for any lawyer, and for any clues. Everything about this case has been ferny. Seems like the perfect excuse for some ferny evidence. Mr. Tiger, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains potassium cyanide. This bottle contains potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide? The poison used to murder Mr. Elk, Your Honor. the victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tiger, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that?
You'd make a good clown, you know that?
What?
You ain't never gonna get this to stick. You're just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger?
A bluff?
I can see straight through you, Phoenix Wright. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it.
No, no. This is the bottle we found traces of the poison in.
Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. The cyanide bottle was brown and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it. You played yourself. You idiot. You just described the bottle.
Oh my god. Got him. I lost.
What? Why's everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle.
Is this the bottle you're referring to?
Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. But you ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy looking suit fool you, people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go. You still haven't figured out? Don't you realize what you just said? What I said? What did I just say?
You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. You really had nothing to do with the murder. You shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in.
You fucked up.
But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison.
Just don't know who you's messing with. I'm the tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some jumped up suit get the better of me?
Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. A phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all.
Oh, he's pissed. He's pissed. He's gonna kill everyone. Oh, boy. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh.
What the? Huh?
What's going on?
It looks like a blackout. Okay. That's cool. That is cool. Well done, Wright. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Thanks. Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey. Well, we did it at least. Woo! Mr. Wright, we caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tiger, Mr. Godo? He's being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glenn Elk, Your Honor. Fortunately for us, I managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney. Yes, she was. And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake. Indeed. The bird nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Zero Tiger is a truly frightening criminal. Yo, that was actually really clever. We tricked him into admitting his own guilt. Truly frightening one. It's that defense attorney over there. Thanks. Odo? Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird. Hell yeah. And you motherfuckers better not impersonate me again, or I'm taking you to court. That is all. This court is adjourned. Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie.
was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago, but now I feel like I could forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick, in the doorway. Detective Gumshoe. Oh, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around, pal. But wait! Detective Gumshoe? Oh yeah. Congratulations, Maggie. Thanks. I knew you were innocent all along. Why didn't you say that in your testimony then? Huh? Oh, well, well, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around. Oh boy. Wait up, detective! He just ran off. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. To him that we got the medication bottle. It wasn't even any of use. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. Poor guy. Looks like he still isn't ready to forgive him. Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick? Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. He clearly needs it. Maggie? You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you for all of this. I wanted to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts. He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it. I've got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom.
Take that!
Here you are. A present to celebrate your freedom. That's a present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love. He said you lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe. I actually really like weenies, you know. Oh. Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know. Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Is it okay if I eat this now? So, how is it, Maggie? It's really good. So the case of Fernie versus Genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. And who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. Wow. Oh, Edgeworth is back, boys! Edgeworth is back! And we're gonna be starting that next week. Well guys, that's the end of this video. Sorry it was a short one, but I really wanted to finish that episode. That ending where, that was a really smart ending. So yeah, we're gonna go with Turnabout Beginnings next week. But until then, if you guys like this video, please sure to give it a like and subscribe to see more videos like this in the future. Until then, take care and goodbye.